Hello Gemini, my name is Nigel and you have found Alchemy. Today we are going to be doing your full moon charm oracle reading, and I am not going to shift into warp speed for any of this. Everything's going to be done on camera. It's just easier that way. And let's get started. I'm going to give this a quick shuffle. These have absolutely been shuffled already, but I just wanted to give them a quick shuffle on camera. So let's get started. We'll throw your charms first. For Gemini, full moon February. Okay. Let's look, Gemini. Where shall we start? There's a lot going on here. Wow. You have a lot going on in self. Let's get started. I think I'm going to start at the top where there's a little bit less. We have social life, others. Now, others can mean anything. Anything outside yourself to do with people, friends, lovers, anybody like that. And here in the center is you. This is where you reside. Anything further away are things that are either in your past or in your distant future. So we're going to clarify all these charms with our trusty oracle here. We do have a female figure here in your life, and it is pretty far away from you. And depending on what the oracle says, I believe right now that this is somebody that's coming into your social group. It's either a lover or a friend. Simple enough, right? In career finances, you don't have much going on, ironically enough. You do in between finances and health and career and business, you do have this angel wing. And when I see this angel wing, I know that you are somehow divinely protected here. You may have had some close calls in your life when it comes to business and wealth and finance. But somehow you've always landed on your feet. And the reason for that is you do have some divine protection here. In finances and wealth, pretty close to you, you do have this acorn, and the acorn in this reading represents growth. And you're going to be experiencing financial growth fairly soon from what I can see. Now, in between financial growth and health and well-being, you do have this amplifier, which is interesting. And it's almost as if your finances have a lot to do with your well-being. And I guess you can say that's true of pretty much everyone. But I think for you in this reading, it's especially true. You are very linked. Your well-being is very linked with your finances. Here in your health and well-being, bordering on home and family, you did come up in your own reading, the sign of Gemini, which is always nice to see. It's always nice to see our own zodiac signs in these readings for confirmation. And in home and family, you do have in the center, dead center, the phallic symbol. And it is tiger's eye, which is a very protective stone. So you are either a male that is in charge of other people's protection and well-being and welfare. It's like, to me, this is responsibility. Or you have someone in your home and family that is extremely protective of you if you're not male. You do have a pocket hug here, so there might be someone in your immediate family who absolutely backs you up and does love you, and that's nice to see. Not everybody has that, Gemini. Now, let's get to this part here. I'm going to skip over this for now because this looks pretty heavy. In your love and relationships, you have Own Your Dreams, and it was right on top of this book, of this fairy tale, Once Upon a Time. This is further away, and there might be a dream person coming into your life, or perhaps somebody that you once considered a dream person returning into your life. This isn't right on top of you. It's pretty far away. I'm not going to say it's ridiculously far, but it's here and you're here. And you have here a tooth, and you also have a compass. There's something that is fairly close to you, and it has to do with love and relationships, that might bite you. And it might send you into a sort of tailspin of not knowing which way to turn. It looks like to be temporary energy, Gemini, but it is heading your way for sure. And here in the same grouping, you have Libra. So you might have a Libra in your life that is fairly important in your life in general, or you may require more balance in your life, or perhaps more balance is coming into your love and partnerships. Now, love and partnerships could also mean partnerships in business. It doesn't have to be love, but for most people, it has to do with some romantic aspect of their life. Now, on the border between love and relationships and advice, it does say strong is beautiful. Hold on one second. Sorry about that, Gemini. My phone was ringing, and interestingly enough, it was a Gemini on the phone. So what are the odds of that? Anyway, so yeah, we have love and relationships. So we have a Libra. It says strong is beautiful. And the advice here would be to remain strong, and that there is a certain beauty in that strength if you can capture it within yourself. Now, also on the border, and it's more an advice, you have the BS Begone spray. And this is either something you need to rid yourself of in someone else or other people, or something that you need to rid within yourself. There might be some aspect of yourself that you need to work on. Or, likewise, there might be a love relationship in your life who shows you certain traits that you're not exactly thrilled with. But you're spraying this spray, and you've had enough of either some aspect of yourself or someone else. Here in advice, when we get fully into the advice part, there is a leave me alone symbol. So this might be work you have to do on your own. Or likewise, like I said, if this is someone else, then you might need to be alone, away from that energy. Here you have, right under everything, you have Capricorn. There might be a Capricorn in your life that you would like to get rid of. There just might be. It's saying to be strong with this Capricorn. It's saying BS Begone spray, and I'm just telling you what I see here. Now, there is a wish, but under the wish, interestingly enough, Gemini, you have the Lovers, and that is the tarot for Gemini, and right above it, laying on top of it, was the Make-A-Wish card. So right now you have the advice here is to start manifesting. You have the ability and the power to manifest something beautiful. Stay strong here. Get rid of the influences in your life that really could be hindering your progress. And I'm going to say they're hindering you in love and relationships because we have some things that are pretty close to that in proximity. So you have to think, is there a Capricorn in your life that, or someone with Capricorn highly aspected in their chart? Somebody could have a Capricorn stellium, a Capricorn moon, a Capricorn Venus, or at the very least, something could have went on during Capricorn season, December, January. It'll be different for all of you, but that sign is relevant here. So you have Capricorn, Gemini, Libra. That's about it right now. Let's keep going though. Now, over here in spirit and self, you have a lot of activity, and let's see, where do I begin? There's a lot. You do have the Three of Swords, and that is very close to you here. This could be a third-party situation that you endured, or that you lived through, or that you experienced, or perhaps that you knew about. You either knew about it or you didn't. But there is something that's causing pain to someone, and this pain is either felt by you or felt by someone else. You do have another sign here, and this is Taurus. The same thing here, and it's right next to this Three of Swords. So this could involve a Taurus. Again, think, does someone have a Taurus moon, Taurus stellium, Taurus rising? You get my drift, right? For all of you, it'll be different. This is a general reading, but there is the sign of Taurus comes into this, and this is something that's pretty close to you, and I'm going to venture to say this might even happen during Taurus season, which is April, May. Now, right next to this Taurus, literally right next to the Taurus, right next to the Three of Swords, you have this earring. And this earring is something I kept. I've had it for a very, very, very long time. This is an earring I found, which was proof that somebody was cheating. Just saying. Interesting, right? And right next to that, not far from that, is this. And this is another earring that I received from someone who was lying to me about who they were, about various things about them. Two different people here, but usually I get this when someone's either lying to themselves or someone is lying to them. And this is yourself. So I'm going to say for at least one of you, you're involved in some third-party situation. You might be lying to someone. There might be a Taurus or a Taurus energy involved here. And in fact, you might be lying to yourself. That's for a very small group, if not only one person. I think for many Geminis, this is a sign of betrayal. Someone close to you. Someone who is lying to you. Someone who definitely doesn't have your best interest at heart. Okay? Here in spirit and self, pretty far away, it says live your dream. And I do think that in the distant future, that's going to be coming to you. But right now, what's close to you looks precarious. Now, here between home and family and spirit and self, you do have the sister charm. A sister is someone to dream, cry, sing, and laugh with. You might have someone in your life like that. It doesn't have to be a blood sister. It just could be a really good friend. And it is on the border of home and family. So for many of you, this might be a sister. Here in the center, which is you do have weakness is a choice. So this weakness is a choice is right on top of you. And this could be you that has a certain weakness inside you that you need to work on. Or likewise, someone around you has a weakness. And they might lie to you about this weakness and say that they made a mistake, they can't help themselves, all the excuses people come up with. But the truth is, Spirit is telling you weakness is a choice, right? It's not something that's done to us. We do that to ourselves. Here we have, before we get to that, we have the sign of Sagittarius. There is something that could have went on during Sagittarius season. It's right on top of you. It could be a Sagittarius that is right in your life. You do have, like I said, when I say Sagittarius, it could be someone with Sagittarius anywhere in their chart. And right on top of that, it was love. There might be someone around you here, Gemini, that is really, really caring about you. You have here, and this is in between health and well-being, and health and well-being in home and family, you do have the symbol of Aries. You have the astrological sign of Aries. So this might be someone in your home and family. This might be a family member that's close to you in some way. Likewise, there's something that could be going on during Aries season, which is upon us in March and April. So keep this in mind as we do our oracle. Let's make sense of this now. I mean, a lot of it makes sense right out the gate, but let's look. Let's look at the social life, others. Social life, others for Gemini. Gemini. There's a storm approaching here. You have a storm approaching. It could involve some sort of a female, honestly, in your life. With this shell here. There is a storm approaching with a female in your life. You have, let's go in the same direction we went in. Career and business for Gemini. You have compassion, nurture. So Remember when I said with this angel wing that you may have had some close calls in your life when it comes to money, just in the nick of time coming through with something, or there is spirit is nurturing you. This could be someone that is on the other side that's watching you, someone that has passed away. It could be an ancestor, it could be a spirit guide, but you have someone nurturing you. You have someone who does have some compassion for you, whatever situation you might find yourself in, even though, Gemini, you may not feel that way at times. Finances and wealth. There is self-care on the table. And yeah, I would say so. When it comes to your finances and wealth, you may need some self-care. You may need to spend some money on self-care. Either way, self-care is on the table. Spirit is trying to tell you that you need to start taking care of yourself better. You're neglecting yourself in some way. I can't see what it is exactly, but there's self-care that's needed. And when you do this self-care, your finances will naturally grow and blossom and amplify. Show me health and well-being here. Health and well-being. Toxic patterns. Yeah, remember when and it's right next to the sign of Gemini here. So, there are toxic patterns in your life, Gemini. And these toxic patterns could revolve around a relationship you're in. These toxic patterns can revolve around you and the way you act in relationships. But there's a toxic pattern that you need to rid yourself of, for sure, in your life. And there's just no doubt it coming out with your sign here. You have home and family. Home and family. Balance, justice. Remember when I said the Libra energy could be you needing more balance in your life? This would probably be the sign of Libra as well. And so I have to say there might be a male Libra who you find, who you're very close with. At the same time, for others of you, you definitely need more balance here between home and family and other things. And you do need some self-care. There's just, the self-care might be addressing your toxic patterns. You have spirit self. Show me Gemini self. You have the sun, which is beautiful energy. You have the strength to get through this. Whatever this is with the Three of Swords and the earrings and all this toxic energy, you have the power. Remember when I said you had the power to manifest things? Here's your proof. You really do have the sun in your corner. You have the power to make your wishes come true and to really do a lot of good and a lot of work on yourself in this situation. You have in the advice column, show me some advice, Spirit, for you have masculine energy here. Spirit might be asking you to step into your masculine energy more, whether you're male or female. A masculine energy is fiery. It gets things done, right? More than feeling things, it uses logic and it gets things done. For others of you, this could be a masculine energy that's stepping in to help. Likewise, you could be, like I said, being asked to step into your masculine energy, whether you're male or female, and get things done and take the bull by the horns and really take steps to work through whatever it is you need to work through. Show me this love and partnerships and this happily ever and this fairy tale. Show me this fairy tale. Let's see. We have soul ties. Remember when I said that there is this own your dreams fairy tale thing here? There will be a reunion here. Gemini, you might have lost someone. You might have almost lost someone. There's a reunion of some kind, and this is a person you have a soul tie with. This isn't just a relationship. This is something that's important on your journey. something that you're going to reestablish in some way. At the bottom of the deck here, what do we have? We have closed off, guarded, resistance. You might be extremely resistant to any kind of change here. You might be extremely resistant and guarded to recognizing patterns within yourself that make it easier to manifest things for yourself. Geminis have amazing minds when they want to have them, and they can absolutely be closed off and guarded in other ways. Yeah, they could. When they don't want to look at something, they just don't. So I guess what Spirit is trying to tell you is they're inviting you to take this journey within yourself. You don't have to tell anybody. You don't have to call anybody up. This isn't about apologies. This is just about you really examining where you have been and the outcomes of different things and what your part in it was. And once you do that, you'll be a better person for the next person or for the next chapter of your life, right? The next card here is to release, surrender, and purge. And I would say so. There is something in your life that needs to be purged. There's just no doubt. There's a lot of hidden energy over here. A lot of pain too. And you have to ask yourself, am I causing pain, or am I inflicting pain, or am I allowing someone to inflict pain on me? But there's pain here that needs to be released. You need to be less guarded with yourself. You have here, what do we have? Memories, nostalgia. You might look back on your life and wish things were different. We all do, right? But that might be part of it. You might be living in the past. Part of you might be living in the past. When you cut those memories off and put them away after you've sorted them properly, and you release them, and you surrender them, and you start to move forward in a healthy way, anything that was yours returns to you. It does. Anything healthy that's yours will return to you. Here you have higher self activation, and we do not read these cards inverted, by the way, which is why I turn them around. But yes, I would say for sure your higher self is being activated during this time. You're being asked. It's an invitation to do that. You have an amazing mind. You can do anything you want with it. And what I would do is do some self-care, work on yourself. Put this energy into yourself, because I'm telling you, once you start working on yourself and you start vibrating in a certain way, you will attract others that vibrate similarly. And you'll be rid of all this toxic crap. You have the sun in your corner. You have spirit world on your corner too. And here we go. This is why I use a double deck, by the way. I want to see which cards come out twice. And here you go. You have soul ties. This is important. This journey, you have a soul tie with another human being that is very important. It's important to your lessons here on earth. It's maybe important to both of you. Maybe both your journeys have been so affected by one another that's why this reunion takes place, Gemini. You have here self-love, and I would say for sure the creation of self-love and your intentions are key, along with the self-care card. You have, again, guarded. You're guarded. This is different. It's different, but it's damn close, isn't it? You're guarded, you're closed off. Geminis have a way of being where they can be the life of the party. They can talk, they can get things out of you. They could, colorfully explain anything. And yet they're still closed off and guarded with their own vulnerabilities, if that makes sense. So you're being asked to look at that. I'm not asking you to expose your soft spot to everyone who you come across, but I'm asking you to expose that to yourself and work through it. You do have here, my God. Listen. If this is not a sign, I don't know what is. Gemini, it's time. This is your warning from Spirit. I'm going to take some flipped cards. I'm going to take 3 flipped cards for Gemini, please. 1, 3 flipped cards for Gemini, please. There you go. Perfect amount. You have detachment. There is something that you're detaching yourself with, and I do think it's the soul tie. Perhaps you needed to. Perhaps it was just self-care. But there is something about the soul tie that you need. The ice does need to melt. You need to work on yourself. I'm not saying anything was your fault, by the way. This could be this person doing all this stuff, but the two of you sort of need to sort this out. There's unfinished business here on the table. You have here the past, suffering, lack. You might have been, I would say there's a lot of pain over here. There might have been lack on your end, giving certain parts of yourself that you were afraid to give. There might have been lack on the other person's part, not giving you what you deserved, but there's lack, and I do think there's a heavy soul tie here on the table. You have 4 cards, and I'm going to take all of them. You have here self-love again. It's time. You need to look within. You just need to look within. And here's your last card. And of course, every time I get this card in a Gemini reading, I laugh because Gemini, you have decisions to make. There's 2 roads, 2 minds. You have to make a decision here, and this decision is going to be key. It's going to be key. For all of you, it'll be different. I'll be happy to listen to whoever's reading this is, because my God, Gemini, always interesting. Always interesting. The key here is to make a decision to work on some sort of pattern that's in your life. To work through a soul tie connection that you have with someone that's extremely relevant to your journey. You have unfinished business. You have the strength to see this out, to see this through. You just do. I think that you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself. And at the bottom of the deck here, which makes sense here, you're clinging to your comfort zone. Your comfort zone, whoever's reading this is, your comfort zone is to be self-protective. But you know, Geminis are, like I said, very good at appearing very social and happy and talkative and colorful, and at the same time they're clinging to some sort of internal comfort zone that protects them. You have to sort of make a decision here. I hope this helped, Gemini. I will see you during your weekly, your monthly, whatever. Big hugs. Namaste.